Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Got Next podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Baldwin, and my co-host, Donovan Moore.
What's good? What is going on, fellas?
Nothing much. Week 12, man. Say what's up, B.
What's up, fellas? Good evening. Week 12, we're almost there.
We are almost there, unfortunately. Sorry to everybody whose fantasy teams are already cooked. This is the last week of mine, so we'll see what happens, man. We're at that time of year. A couple more weeks left in the year, so we got some good matchups coming up this week. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that type of stuff, and follow us on the socials at the Got Next Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And without further ado, let's get into the intro.
Three-pointers. Outside jumper for three at the bucket.
Alrighty, before we get into this week's matchups, let me go ahead and announce the bye weeks for this week. We got the Falcons, the Bills, the Bengals, the Jags, the Saints, and the Jets. A lot of teams on bye. Set your lineups accordingly. First matchup we have coming up in the next 45 minutes, we have the Steelers and the Browns. B, this is your squad, but you were going first anyway. Do you have your team beating the Browns?
I ultimately do. I worry this could be a trap game because the Mike Tomlin's record on Thursday Night Football, especially on the road, is not good. And I know any division game on the road is a tough game, but and the conditions are going to be terrible tonight. But I have faith that we're a good enough team, and this Browns team is a bad enough team.
Yeah.
I'm ultimately going to take the Steelers in this one. The Browns are just having a terrible season. I could see them winning because it's usually a competitive game anytime a divisional matchup happens, and it's a short week for both teams. But the Browns are just flat out terrible. Steelers been winning with defense and field goals, so I can see it being one of those type games. Pittsburgh wins.
Yeah, the Browns are just bad, and Jameis Winston's coming off a pretty good game, well, a good individual performance versus Saints. So you know he's going to be bad this week. So got the Steelers in this matchup. Next up, we got the Chiefs and the Panthers. All righty. We got the Vikings and the Bears. A little bit closer of a matchup here, but I think I know where I'm leaning. Where are you leaning, B?
I'm leaning towards the Vikings. It looks like the Bears just find out ways to lose games, whether it be a Hail Mary or a block field goal. Like they just can't get on the winning side of things.
Yeah, this should be a good game. The Bears' offense was a lot better last week with the new offensive coordinator, but the Vikings, they're just a different team. I can't really put my finger on it, so I got the Vikings this week, and the Bears have just been losing in gut-wrenching ways. It's hard to really bounce back when you've lost off some really last-second things, so I got the Vikings.
Yeah, I think the Bears season's kind of – and as a total, I think it's over. They did look a lot better last week, which I kind of assumed, but, you know, whenever you get a new coach, a new coordinator, it only really lasts for a week, and then you kind of regress back to the mean the next week. So we'll see what happens. I got the Vikings. Next up, we got the Titans and the Texans. Is anybody picking the Titans in this matchup? All righty. Joe Mixon looked pretty good last week. That's all I got to say for the Texans. The Lions and the Colts. Is anybody picking the Colts in this matchup?
No way.
It could be a close game. Anthony Richardson did look solid versus the Jets, but the Lions are just – they've been beating who they're supposed to beat and badly.
I mean, like close if you think like it's going to be like a 17-point game or something like that. But I don't think it's going to be much closer than that.
14, it could be like a 31 to 17 type of thing.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think I had the Colts beating the Jets last week, so I just want to put that out there. That was kind of a hot take at the time. All right, we got the Patriots and the Dolphins. Who you got, B?
I got the Dolphins. You know, they beat them in a close one up in New England. It should be close, but they got more explosive players. The Patriots don't really win back-to-back, obviously, but I'll take the Dolphins. They're going to get a little hotter now since Tua's back.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins. They're trying to put their name in the wild card contention hat, so they're competing for that last playoff spot. So this game means more to the Dolphins, in my opinion. I got the Dolphins.
Usually I'll pick against the Dolphins if they're playing actual competition. I don't believe that is the Patriots. I feel like this is one of the teams that they kind of consistently get wins over, and I feel like every time Tyreek Hill has a big play against them. So I'm hoping for another big Tyreek Hill play against the Patriots this week. I got the Dolphins. Another matchup here: the Bucks and the Giants. Believe that Daniel Jones has been benched in New York, and he was playing safety today in practice. Does that mean anything for you, B?
To me, it just means the Giants organization's in complete disarray. Mike Evans gonna be back for the Bucks this week, and they're on like a 3-game losing streak. So I think, and they're coming off a bye week, so I think they bounce back and get back on the winning side of things, and potentially put up a fight for their division title with the Falcons playing as bad as they are as of lately.
Yeah, I got the Bucks. They're not out of it to even win their division, and they're getting Mike Evans back, like you mentioned. So I got the Bucks in this one. The Giants are just yeah. Let's just move on.
Yeah, they paid Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley. Not much to talk about here. I have the Bucks. The Cowboys and the Commanders, not exactly the matchup that you expected it to be when you looked at the schedule earlier in the season. B, who do you got winning this game?
Yeah, I expect the Commanders to break their little skid that they've been on, but Cowboys are inferior competition with their depleted roster, and it looks like they've just kind of given up on things. And I also saw that Mike McCarthy put his home up for sale, so I mean, it just kind of signifies the writing on the wall. He's looking to move to another place in Dallas, but I doubt that to be the case.
Yeah, Washington.
I got 2 words, 7 letters. Must win. And that's for the Commanders. If they lose this game, and people are already calling them frauds, if they lose this game, it's going to mean a lot for them. But I mean, I feel like they have enough to make something happen here, and they're going to bounce back in a big way. Is my prediction. I got the Commanders. The Broncos and the Raiders. The Broncos are rolling. Bo Nix looks like a great QB. Is he going to look great against the Raiders? B?
Yeah, I mean, the Broncos just seem to be beating the bad teams and losing to the good teams, which is kind of a step up for them. They haven't been in the playoffs since 2015, and I think they're really looking to secure that final wild card spot, and they have a good chance of doing it if they continue to pummel the weak competition, and that's what the Raiders are at this point. So I got the Broncos.
Yeah, I got the Broncos. They're a strong defensive team, and the Raiders are just horrible all around. So I got Denver winning this one.
Yeah, I got the Broncos. Not much to talk about here. The 49ers and the Packers in this matchup.
Man, the 49ers really had their number over the years. I think in my time of watching football, the Niners were 5-0 against them in the playoffs. We all know when Aaron Rodgers was the Packers QB, went 0-4 against the Niners in the playoffs. And last year, the Jordan Love-led Packers almost went in there and won, but the Niners squeaked it out at the end. It's been a lopsided rivalry. However, the Niners this year are looking very similar to the Niners team after they lost their last Super Bowl to the Chiefs, in which, they finished with a losing record because they got depleted with injuries. I could see that happening again this year to them. Unfortunately, nobody's healthy. Greenlaw's not back yet. C-Mac just got back, but Ayuk's already out for the year. Kittle was out last week. He's going to be back this week, but probably not healthy. Bosa was already playing with a hurt oblique, and he hurt his other one last week, so I expect him to miss some time. And their D-line is just not the same as it was last year. No Hargrave because of injury, no Bosa because of injury. They lost to Armstead. That's why they've been letting up a lot of game-winning drives in these games, I think. So I'm going to have to go with the Packers here. I'm going to have to take the opposite approach of the Niners. I'm going to have to wait to pick them until they win because they've lost too many disappointing games this year. They've lost 3 division games to each of their division opponents. So I think it's going to be an uphill climb. I actually think the odds have them in favor of missing the playoffs, which is crazy. But, it's just kind of the team they've given us this year. They might just need to, start planning for next year if they lose these next 2 to the Packers and Bills, and they're definitely playing out of their normal climate these next 2 games. So best of luck to them. They're going to need it.
In my opinion, this is a must-win for the 49ers, so I'm going to take San Francisco to win this one. Usually going up head-to-head against Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, I don't believe he's lost yet. No matter who his quarterback has been, he's won with Jimmy Garoppolo. He's won with Brock Purdy. So I'm going to go with the 49ers in this one. I just feel like this game ultimately can decide their season. They still have a shot to win their division. I don't think they're out of it to win the division at all, but I think it all starts with this game right here. And I think they'll beat the Packers. They're going to control the line of scrimmage, run the football. And I think their defense is going to step up to the plate as well. I just can't see the Packers beating them. San Francisco, they still got that championship pedigree. I think they'll find a way to win.
Yeah. I can see it going either way, but once again, 2 words, 7 letters. Must win for the 49ers. They can't lose this game again, especially with the way that the schedule's laid out for the rest of the season. So that they got to get it. They got to get these next 2 dubs for sure. So and I think that'll start this week. CMC might have a big week this week, and I think Kittle can as well. So and then Jawan Jennings has looked pretty good. Debo Samuel's been meh, but we'll kind of see. I feel like they might be able to put something together this week. So I'm gonna put my trust in San Francisco. Next up, we got the ultimate battle of mid, the Cardinals and the Seahawks. You don't know what you're going to get on any given week. Who's going to win in this game?
This just kind of makes me seem like it's going to be a game where the home team comes out on top. So in this case, I'm going to have to take the Seahawks. It's just that they're at home, and they're just. I mean, they're not the better team. I think the Cardinals are actually the better team, but I think in these NFC West games, I think playing at home is a huge advantage. And I think this division just meant to come down to the last week of the season. And that's why Seattle's going to win a game like this. They started out really hot and they got really bad, but then a win like last week kind of steered them in the right direction. So I'm going to pick Seattle.
I'm actually going to go with Arizona in this one. Geno Smith is just another one of those quarterbacks that he's just so up and down. And although he didn't play great versus the 49ers, he did still find a way to win his team the game. He played well enough. But I just think the Cardinals coming off their bye, going into Seattle, I feel like if they win this game, they could have even more of a grasp on the division. So I got to give the Cardinals their credit. They've been winning the games they're supposed to win. They've beaten some solid teams. So I'm going to take the Cardinals to win this week. I think Kyler Murray is going to find a way to win. I believe he's the better quarterback between the two. So I think Kyler Murray will get the job done.
Looking back at the Seahawks schedule, they lost to the Giants in week 5. That's just nasty. It's a bad L. And then the Cardinals, I've been bringing it up all year. They lost 14-42 to the Commanders. That was also nasty. I don't know who to pick here, honestly. You don't know what you're going to get. I do ultimately think that from what I've seen from the Cardinals, I think I can pick the Cardinals in this matchup. I like what they did in their last game. I believe it was against the Jets. I mean, Kyler Murray put on a show in that game, and then obviously they got McBride, they got Marvin Harrison, and James Conner. Like they got a lot of good, solid weapons on their team, and I feel like they don't. I feel like when they lose, now I can't really say that either. It is on them when they lose for sure. So I don't know. I'm going to pick the Cardinals. Nasty matchup. They're kind of just to pick them. I hope it doesn't mess up my record too much on the year. Next, we got the Eagles and the Rams, 2 kind of hot teams, definitely trying to fight for some playoff position, more so the Rams than the Eagles. So who you got here, B?
We go with the Eagles. The Rams just don't seem to be putting together, a consecutive great performances. I think they're on one winning streak this year, but I just don't see it. I think the Eagles got them.
Yeah, the Eagles are catching their stride right now. Their defense has been pretty excellent since early in the season after they lost to Tampa Bay. Their offense is catching their stride with the run game. I think Jalen Hurts should bounce back against the Rams pass defense that is a little suspect. I think A.J. Brown can have a big game this week. It'll be close, but I'm going to take the Eagles to win this one.
It looks like Devonta Smith might be out for this week, so I think A.J. Brown will be big for them. Saquon obviously is great. I mean, yes. But then Kyron's been great on the other side too. And then they got Puka, so I feel like, the Rams might be able to put up a decent fight here. But yeah, I think the Eagles defense kind of ultimately makes a decision for me. So I'm going to go with the Eagles in that matchup. And last but not least, Monday night, the Ravens and the Chargers, the Harbaughs going at it. How do you feel about this matchup, B?
I think Jim's going to get his first win over John. I think the Ravens they leave half their team at home at almost every game if you think about it. Like either their offense doesn't show up or their defense doesn't show up. Last week it was their offense. I mean, we talk about how great Lamar is, and I mean he's definitely good. He's definitely could win another MVP this year, but he definitely plays great in the regular season. But I mean, if this trend keeps happening, when's he ever going to win a Super Bowl? Let's be honest. Like the clock is ticking. It does not look like that team plays in unison at all. And sometimes he's the problem. Like he's never beats the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, I feel like a fool for picking the Ravens last week. I mean, I should probably pick the Steelers when they play him in a few weeks in Baltimore because like Lamar, what he's proven to you is he can't beat the Chiefs. Can't beat the Steelers, and he can't get that team to play all together well at once. Chargers, on the other hand, look like a completely different team with Coach Jim Harbaugh. I still think they're likely a first-round exit this year because there's too many contenders in the AFC. But why is Justin Herbert not going to pick that defense apart? I don't have a good reason to think otherwise. I don't think Roquan Smith's going to play either. think he hurt his calf, or I think he strained his calf against the Steelers. So I think he's going to be out, I'm pretty sure. So I think that's going to help the Chargers like crazy. They have a great offensive line too. I'm going to go with the Chargers here.
I'm going to go with the Ravens. Anytime Lamar has a bad game, I feel like he usually always bounces back and finds a way. So I just feel like even though this is a brother versus brother matchup, Chargers are very much improved. Got to give them all the credit in the world. One of the Ravens' strengths defensively is their run defense. So if they can make the Chargers one-faceted, which I believe they will, I think the Ravens will bounce back, control the clock, and I think they're going to beat the Chargers in this one.
Yeah, ultimately, I'm going to go with the Ravens in this one. I wouldn't be shocked, though, if the Chargers won, because they're just like a feisty team that kind of stays in everything. They play hard, and they execute for the most part. So, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the Chargers won, but ultimately, I'm going to go with Lamar. I think that they're definitely going to bounce back this week.
I just look at the teams they lost to: Browns on the road, Raiders at home.
Raiders at home.
I think the Chargers get him here.
Okay. All right. I like it, man. I like the way you go out on a limb every week, B.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to do it for all the matchups for this week. Does anybody have anything to add?
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch you next week. Oh, B, if you want to update everybody on the standings real quick.
Oh, yeah. It looks like we're all pretty neck and neck. Mitch, 87-75. Dono, 86-76, and me, 85-77. So not particularly all that good, but it's been a weird NFL season. But
it's definitely been harder to pick.
And I know you guys picked like neck and neck this week, and I picked like 4 different from you. So either you guys are going to be one game apart still behind me, or one game apart ahead of me. Because I literally think you guys picked like every game the same today. But
I think so. Maybe
we'll see how it folds. It folds. Go Seahawks. Go Chargers.
For sure. Well, we'll catch you guys next week. Appreciate it.